I've been telling you since day one, he is not a good pocket passing quarterback. Where to begin? The worst show on turf, known as AKA the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll make a proclamation right out of the gate so we can get it out of the way. That's not a championship football team. No way. However, 4-0. It's got 23 all over it. Not with the meltdown, because of Fangio on the other side. No way. No way. Absolutely no way. With the worst show on turf. Now you got your star receiver with a nuclear meltdown going on. It's just all you got to do now is just get your popcorn and your beers and sit back and watch the implosion as it's going on now. Your football team's 4-0, just like you did in 23 when you beat all those good teams like the Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs. Same situation. No way. Your running game is the worst in the league. Actually, it's your passing game that's the worst in pro football. It might be the worst passing game in the history of the National Football League for any contending team I've ever seen. It's remarkable. It's just the worst passing offense in pro football history. Make no mistake about it. And by the way, there's no debate about it. There's your star receiver's even complaining. Okay? Your star receiver is even complaining. Super chats go to the top. Hit the like button here. We're going to get into it. We're going to give you our takeaways here in a second. I mean, listen, I want to start it off by doing this, though. There is no question that you are 4-0 right now because of the resiliency of that starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts. It's not your pathetic run game. It's not your holes defense. I'm here for the Fly Eagles Fly 4-0. Elite, complete, repeat. God bless y'all. Enjoy the motherfucking hype train. By the way, everything that guy just said, I completely disagree with. They will not win the Super Bowl this year. End of story. Thank you for the 12-month member. Appreciate it. Not happening. The worst offense in pro football is in Philadelphia. So let's go to the takeaways. First half. Really some good football. Just absolutely some really good football by the Eagles. Seal, did you see another McNabb-T.O. situation with A.J. and Hurts? I don't know if that's with A.J. and Hurts. I think it's more to do with A.J. and management. I think it's more to do with management and A.J., not Jalen. Jalen's winning ball games. Barkley's not a factor. Your receivers are not a factor. It's Jalen Hurts. Here, check it out. For the second straight game, if you go by the numbers here and you take Hurts' 62 yards out of the rushing attack, you ran for 26 yards? You had 26 rushing yards net in that football game if you take Jalen Hurts out of the running attack. Think about that. You had 88 yards rushing. From the best offensive line in football, that's a lie. Not happening. It's an untruth. So let's start with the takeaways. There is no question. One of the things I'll say, it's the greatest. It is the greatest and the worst offensive football team I've ever seen in competitive history. And you're 4-0. It's amazing that the quarterback and Vic Fangio, there's two people, Vic and the quarterback. AJ's frustrated because he knows he's a difference maker and feels underutilized. And there's not a problem with that. Maybe his approach. Folks, you're 20-1. There is no doubt about it. There's a pedigree and there's a difference. Here's the difference between Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, at the end of the day, is going to make bonehead plays. Hurts is never going to. Jalen Hurts can have 100 yards passing and beat you. 100 yards passing and beat you. I'll tell you one thing throughout this whole experiment here with the first 4 games, the first 12 quarters of football, I've got more of an appreciation for Jalen and more of a respect for how he approaches the game than any time in the 4 years previous me covering him. As for the rest of it, they believe, and I told you, all of you guys thought, you know what? What's crazy is all of you guys thought that because you had a second half versus the Rams, that you were going to revert into this somewhat scoring offense or passing offense. And as we told you here, that was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. They were not going to go down that lane. That's not what they were going to do. That's not what they do. That's not how they approach it, okay? 88 yards rushing they had in that ball game. It's pathetic. Can already tell this is going to be a good day for football talk. By the way, kudos to Hurts, man. He will not play like Mayfield. You know what the people in Tampa wanted me to do today? They wanted me to give Baker Mayfield credit for lighting the house on fire and then fucking putting it out. Not happening. You're down 14-0 with 7 minutes left in the first. You lit your house on fire. Came back to haunt you. Remember I told you on the pregame show? Look for special teams. Was a factor right out of the gate in the first series. Come on, dude. You're not beating the Philadelphia Eagles with gaffes in special teams and 2 turnovers. That's not happening. Headlines of 2025 Eagles. The genius play caller and Kevin Franklin Barkley looking like a one-year wonder, and the idiots posting a 4-0 record. By the way, I don't care about that. Anybody who posts 4-0, I don't care, and I'm not talking to them today. That has no bearing on the Super Bowl. You were 2-2 a year ago, and then you ended up going on to win a Super Bowl. So 4-0 means shit too, like 2-2 meant shit a year ago. 2-2 meant shit a year ago. Just like 4-0 means shit right now. I mean, let's get into it. So let's go to the numbers here. They're pathetic. And get this. As I said on the postgame show, I don't think they played great on defense. You're giving up 5 yards a carry, 5.5 a carry. You're now 25th in defense. You're going down, not up. Where are you going up? Where are you getting better? Show me. In the first 4 games, the first 4 games of the season, where in the world are you getting better? Oh, if you take this explosion play or take that explosion, that's part of the game. Here's the 60 minutes of football that you played against the Bucs. Okay? This is the reality of what happened, not what you think happened. The Eagles were held to 16 first downs. Do you know a team that is built around the run game had 5 first downs rushing? And they were all almost Jalen Hurts. 5. Another one. You were 5 of 14 on third down. Non-existent moving of the chains. You had, for the second straight game, 200 yards in offense with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts. Look at Chris, what he said. You guys had 15 first downs in the first half. You had 1 first down in the second half in 30 minutes of football. 1. And if you put the safety on at the end of the game, you were minus 3 yards in the second half. Minus 3 yards. What does it say to the rest of the NFL that possibly poor Eagles are beating every NFL team playing C- ball. The NFL is trash. David, I said that this morning. If you don't catch the Philadelphia Eagles now, you're never catching them. They're playing D plus C- football right now, and they're beating the Rams, the Bucs, the Chiefs, and the Cowboys. If you don't catch them now, you're never catching them. They're not playing good football. They're just not playing good football. If you don't catch, because let me tell you something. Do I think this is going to continue? No. I don't. Because their O-line right now is not very good. I want you to hear this, Philly. Your O-line's not very good. Well, still, there's injuries. Irrelevant. They're not very good. You're not very good. Your run game is terrible. By the way, right now, your offense is the worst show on turf. Love my team, but I love good football. And it hurts to see the careers of two T1 receivers being wasted. We could still be 4-0 and be competent. Listen, Junior, this is not about being 4-0. This is about winning a championship. Stop with the 4-0. Remember that. That's for small brains. You're looking for something grander than 4-0. You were 2-2 a year ago. They turned it around and they went on an iconic run. 4-0 is the micro. The macro is the Super Bowl. You're not looking to win games like George Foreman would say. I'm not looking to win rounds. I'm looking to win the fight. The offense is terrible. It's amazing we're 4-0. Won't last. This will not last. It's not happening. Remember, hey, get this. Just to be fair and keeping everything in perspective, I was wrong last year. 2023, when you guys were telling me when you were 10-0 and how wrong I was, the difference is that you weren't playing this poorly last year. You were getting better and better. You're getting worse and worse. Every game you've gotten worse on offense. I think the defense is not going to have the implosion of 23. And I've said that before. You're not going anywhere with that offense. Nowhere. Chris Sims says the offense's fault is Jalen's because he wants to keep the offense simple and no one wants to say it in the building. What do you think? Absolutely true. He's a limited player. You think he's some sort of quarterback savant? Take a look at those pass routes. They're the most uncreative offensive pass routes in pro football history. It's a kindergarten offense. But they make it that way for the quarterback. There's no motion. There's none of that. And get this, as long as they continue to win, they're going to have the high school quarterback offense. And that's what it is. Dude, it's not a complex offense. You have tremendously skilled players. Okay? Tremendously skilled players. I'm going to get to A.J. Brown here in a minute. And the reason why you're winning football games is because of your exceptional talent and limited offense. And that's the problem that A.J. Brown and everyone in the building has. Okay? And look at RC3. The Bucs are not my favorite fucking team, you asshole. I don't have a favorite team. Honest opinion, that won't last offense or defense. The defense is going to continue to get better because of the coach on that side of the ball. The offense is not going to get better because of the coaches on the offensive side of the ball. That plain and simple. So, no, get this. So is Jalen Hurts getting exposed? Exposed for what? He's exactly what I've been telling you for 4 years. He's limited in the pocket. They've taken the pocket passing away. They let him run the football, and he throws a couple outs to A.J. Brown and Devontae, and they throw a pass across the middle of the field a few times And the most of it is a wildcat offense. What else is there to be said? Kevin Patullo is a terrible. Wait a minute. I'll take that back. Kevin Patullo is not a terrible coordinator. It's a terrible offense. He's been asked to run a terrible offense. So you're not going to be productive. Don't turn the ball over. Win with your exceptional talent. And that's why the Eagles are where they are. The Eagles are where they are because of Howie Roseman and Jalen Hurts, not because of fucking play calling. Kevin Patullo is in that role because it's safe. I mean, it's totally safe. What I don't get is how the owner sits there and gets on. Oh, by the way, next Tuesday, I forgot to tell Xander this. Next Tuesday, Doug Peterson is going to be on the program. Coach is doing some stuff with Barstool this week, so be on the lookout for that. And then Doug Peterson next week at 4:30 will be on the program, and we're going to talk with the former Eagle head football coach, Doug Peterson, at 4:30. That's going to be next Tuesday. Will be with us, and we will talk with him. So just to put that in perspective for you, I thought you guys would like that. I've been texting him. You know who gave me the number, which is really cool? Howard Eskin gave it to me. So we got to thank Howard for that connection. So we got Doug Peterson next Tuesday at 4:30. Would you say Jalen is selfish for not evolving? No. No way. They have pounded it into that man's skull. What's more important to you? Having 2,500 yards passing this year and 19 touchdown passes, or having a chance to win another Super Bowl? So until that dynamic changes, he's not going to evolve the offense. The quarterback is not evolving the offense because he doesn't want to. So this is a little on him. To your point, Trey, this is a little on him. Jalen Hurts is looking at the offense and in the best interest of the team, not the best interest of A.J. Brown. The best interest of the team is to play this style of football. That's why the quarterback is the only guy not pitching. Do you know how frustrating it must be for A.J. Brown not to be able to have a quarterback that stands up to be able to evolve an offense, to involve some great playmakers? That's what I think he's frustrated with. The quarterback is not standing up for the rest of the guys on the team. Hurts is looking at it this way, and I don't know if Hurts is wrong. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, by the way, I heard John McMullen say this, and you know what gets me about these beat reporters? So they talk to the players, and this is why I never became a beat reporter. Guy tells me something in confidence. I'm the wrong guy. Guy tells these beat writers in confidence, and they can't go out and tell the public and what these guys are really thinking. I don't know. Are you a mouthpiece for the organization, or do you are you there for the fans? I'm not sure what it is. Okay, I'm really not sure what that is. This is why I never got involved with that stuff. And I do talk shows. I mean, that's why I have been doing this for almost 38 years. I don't subscribe to that. Yeah, don't tell me anything. Because my obligation is to put a show on. Not to have things behind the scene held back. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, so people know things that these guys here. Well, sorry, here's where it goes then. When AJ posts the shit that he posts, he's obviously upset. I'm going to get to it in a minute. He hates the offense. And he thinks they could be doing better, but they don't want to do better because the quarterback doesn't want to do better. He doesn't want to evolve the offense. This is on Hurts too. Jalen doesn't want to evolve the offense. He says we're good enough right now. And to Jalen's point, they're 20-1. So whatever A.J. Brown feels, it's irrelevant to Jalen right now. Whatever Devontae feels, it's irrelevant to Jalen. Whatever Barkley feels, it's irrelevant. Tell me I'm wrong. AJ's the one bitching, not me. How the fuck is this not all on Kevin Patullo and Sirianni's incompetence? Incompetence, 20-1. 2-5. 20-1. That's how they shut this down. That's how I started the postgame. They're fucking 20-1. They're 4-0. They're not going to listen to players. AJ Brown's telling you, they're not listening. But by the way, 4-0 is not impressing me. Because this is a team that should be blowing teams out. That's a team, in my opinion, that, again, I don't see it. You guys were 10-0 in 23, and you guys were criticizing me every week. People on my own network were criticizing me, and we saw that. Here, I'm saying the defense will get better. I'm saying the offense is getting worse. Literally seeing what this team could be last week in the second half. Jalen got paid because of AJ. Get AJ the ball. Hey, dude, let me say this to you. Jalen Hurts you've got to determine, is Jalen right? Now, as a football team, he is right. They're 4-0. AJ doesn't like it. Lane Johnson didn't even want. He didn't even want, because at the end of the day, records don't win Super Bowls. If that was the case, the Lions would have won it a year ago. Even Lane didn't want to talk to people after the game. Why are some of you in here? And I'm not even reading anything, unless it's a super chat at the beginning of the program here. So I'm not reading anything right now. Nothing. Nothing. Zero. When you have your own players that are upset leaving a game like that, whatever you're saying at me, I'm irrelevant. I'm commenting on what happened. Okay. So you think that Jalen Hurts agrees with AJ? To what extent? 0 for 8 in the second half? 1 first down? Really? Did the team looks less disciplined than last year? No. No, unless you're caught in Jalen Carter. Okay, unless you're saying Jalen. Jalen was concussed. That's it. Make an excuse for idiotic play. So do you think this team can win a Super Bowl because of how bad they've played in 4 weeks? Not going to even give it a chance to get to week 10? Because no, I'm not. By week 10, your defense will be better. Your offense will not. Because of the play caller you have in there. You don't have an experienced play caller, and the head coach is not a very good play caller. You got 2 poor play callers calling this offense right now. And boy, if this doesn't, Brian Johnson looked better. Well, how about this? Let me ask you something. How do you think the offense is looking under Nick and Kevin? What do you think? Under Nick and Kevin, how do you think it looks? How do you think it looks under Nick and Kevin? Give me a grade. Nick and Kevin. Let's see here. I guess Z minus. You tell me. F minus, trash, D. Get this. You see him, Reyes? He thinks -3 yards in the second half and no first downs and an incompetent running attack is B+. Dude, I'm not having conversations with that. The game starts in the trenches. So how can we be blowing folks out when we're compromising the O-line and that's the edges? Correct. That's right. How can you? Those are my takeaways. The quarterback is clearly the only reason you're winning ball games. The only reason. Your wide receivers suck. Your running game blows. Your quarterback is the one carrying the mail. The play caller is limited because he's limited. Hey, did you ever think that maybe an inexperienced guy might be limited? If and when the offense play fails, what will they do differently, if anything? What should they do differently? Let me write that down. Open it up. This team didn't score points last year until week 9 last year in 2022. We were weak second half team in 2022. The meltdown every year, it's something. But I do think it'll get sorted, says Paul. Xander, I missed some supers. I missed 2, I believe. Guys, do me a favor. We appreciate it. 200 plus million for this offense, Sills. AJ is toast. We're going to get to AJ here in a minute. Promise you. If and when their offense play fails, what will they do differently, if anything? What should they do differently? I'm going to get to that, Gary. I think there's one more, Xander. Maybe not. If not, guys, super chats go to the top, and I appreciate all of you guys. What should they do? Let's go to Gary. Force the ball to AJ. Get it in his hands. Get it in the guy's hands. Or trade his ass. Saying we're still winning is a low-ass standard. Boy, I'll tell you, Har. Hey, 215, way to fucking go. You become right now one of the takes of the day. This is good right here. Saying we're still winning is a low-ass standard. Good for you, dude. That's like having your check engine light on your dash and not paying it no mind because, well, my car still runs. Fix your flaws before they get exploited. Hey, 215. Let me. You know what I said about the Bucs this morning? You had an opportunity to win a football game and you shit the bed. The Eagles know how to win ball games. You know how to lose them. You throw a football in tight windows late in the ball game, Hurts is not making that play. He's throwing that ball out of bounds. Baker Mayfield, the bad Baker Mayfield, showed up. Hurts ain't doing that. The difference between Baker and Hurts was in that play. Baker's going to throw an ill-advised pass late in the ball game in a one-score game. Jalen's not doing that. That's not happening. And that's why he wins. I told you he's the smartest quarterback in pro football. Okay? On the postgame show, I've not changed. You know, people were talking about them playing good on defense. I don't think so when you're giving up 5.5 yards a carry. And then when people say and go like this, well, they don't give a shit about 5.5 yards a carry because that's how Vic plays. That's how teams move the chains on you. Do you know the Eagles are winning on defense? They're playing good red zone. Other than that, teams are running up and down the field on them from 20 to 20. Vic's doing a great job at red zone. It's the only thing, red zone and scoring, which matters the most, really. But the teams are going up and down the fucking field on you. They had 400 yards of total offense on you, and most of it was in the second half. The fuck are you talking about? It's fucking September, y'all. These 4 games were extremely tough. I want to peak in December. That's a fair statement. Avant said on postgame, paraphrasing, that AJ ran half-ass pass routes. Of course he ran half-ass pass routes. You know why? He's tipping off, like I told you a couple weeks ago. When the play's not coming his side, he's giving you half-ass efforts. And they're tipping off what they're doing and where they're going. I miss the Super Xander because hey guys, thank you again. I can't thank you enough. By the way, you're a fucking amazing football team. You're an amazing football team with players on your team. You are amazing. You have amazing players. Too bad you're not utilizing them. Hurts may be the reason we're winning. He's also the reason our offense can't sustain itself. He's not utilizing his weapons. Penn, he can't. I've been telling you since day one, he is not a good pocket passing quarterback. Why have you all not believed me? And now that it's starting to come to fruition, they've dummied down the offense. They've made it simpler. He's using his wheels, and that's what they want him to do. Jalen Hurts is never going to get better as a passer, ever in the history of God. When are you going to get that through your heads? He's not going to evolve into some high-level passer. I'm sorry. Team bigger than that's his mentality. Quite frankly, as a defensive guy, I have to agree with you, Dave. Okay, get this. He was not a good passer in the Rams game. He was a good passer in the second half with desperation. The Eagles are not developing him as a passer because they don't want to. Why are you not getting that? Your last two coordinators have done dick with making him a better passer. Nothing. Nothing. Zero. It's a high school offense. And he wants it that way. You're not going to evolve this. I started laughing after the Rams game when everyone said that they're going to open up the offense because of what happened in the Rams game. They did exactly what they did, and then they went into their shell in the second half. No. You're saying we suck at passing because philosophy. Okay, fair. So why is the running game a shit show? Injuries. Lane was taken out. Steen got injured. Dude, Cam Jurgens is a shell of himself. He's a shell of himself. Vita Vea. Now, all fairness, Vita Vea is a fucking machine. He tortured him. I mean, he was throwing him around like a rag doll. Says Nakua can catch 10 balls a game. AJ can too. Agreed. Hurts reminds me of a point guard in the NBA. Like a Chris Paul. He scores 40 points per game. We win the regular season. When the playoffs start, team sucks. No, I think it's more like Chris Paul could score 40 points, Penn, in one game, and then turn around and give you an 8-score game. And that's what I think Hurts is. I think Hurts is that kind of guy. One more time. Jalen Hurts is winning ball games for you. Okay? Hurts is winning ball games. But he is not he struggles with blitzes. He's not very accurate when it comes to out passes. How many overthrows were there? They didn't complete a pass in the second half. I mean, I think he's accurate sometimes, more so than not. Like 65% of the time, he's probably accurate out of 10 throws. Sure, 67. Every 10 passes, probably 6.5 of them, he's going to be on target. But when you have low volume, they're going to be low impact. They're low impact passes. 9. Did you see those 9 targets? They were awful. They weren't impact targets. They were just trying to get him out the ball. Again, I'm going to get to AJ here in a minute and his tweeting and all that stuff. Sills, it's crazy how efficient we are in the red zone this year. Absolutely true. We have more points than we should with how few yards we gain. Dude, you have great Curtis, excuse me. I'm going to say it one more time to you. Curtis, you have fabulous offensive football players. But it's the worst show on turf. It's not sustainable. Just like it was in 23. This is not going to be sustainable. People, I guarantee you, moving forward, people on my network, people around Philadelphia, they will not agree. All good, no problem. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. It's a shit show. Dude, let's do this. You know what I'm going to give Jalen Hurts as a grade for the first 4 games? A B+. Saquon, horrific blocking in the backfield. Terrible running. I'm going to give him a C. A.J. Brown has been a non-factor. D+. Devontae, C-. O-line, D+. There you go. Okay, there you go. You know what? Kibo, you are dead right. First dual threat wouldn't work. Now it's not sustainable. Let's keep moving the goalpost. No. What are you talking about? First dual threat? Bro, you're not a consistent passing attack. And because your run game's not doing very well, goalpost, not been moved, your football team's not as good on offense. Sills, at least Cam's. Get this. You know what John McMullen said yesterday in the postgame show? I had a chance to think about what he said. You know, I got off the air and he goes, well, the Eagles aren't playing up to their standards, but to the rest of the league. The rest of the league? What's that got to do with Philly? What's that got to do with Philadelphia? What does the Jets O-line have to do? Well, if the Jets, you should take a look at the Jets O-line. Who fucking cares about the Jets? That's the comparison? Look at the rest of the league. How about you compare yourselves to yourselves? That's the standard you set. That's the gold standard, is the Eagles, not the league. I mean, fuck, man. You know, they're playing up better than anybody else. What the fuck does that mean? That's the thing that separated you, was that you were so head and heels above the rest of the league. Sills, is this fair? We have A+ talent on offense, but we have F in coaching, so mediocre at best. Well, get this. Well, let's put this in context there. How many people believe that Nick Sirianni's a great coach? A great offensive-minded guy? How many people believe that? He is a great offensive-minded guy. How many believe that Nick Sirianni is a great offensive-minded guy? It's like either the O-line block and there's nobody open, or the wideouts are open and nobody's blocking. It's crazy. So, okay. So Nick Sirianni, in your opinion, let's just go with this. He's okay. Okay? Then you hire somebody who's never called plays. How do you think that's playing out with a not so great offensive-minded coach who his best skill set was designing wide receiver routes for Frank Reich? Frank Reich was the OC in San Diego with Rivers. Frank Reich's the one that called plays in Indianapolis, not Sirianni. When Frank was the head coach in Indy, he called plays. Sirianni is a guidance counselor with pom-poms. So isn't it wild? So wait a minute. If you think that Nick is a great offensive-minded coach, so when Steichen was here, the offense was getting better. When Steichen left, the offense kind of wobbled under Brian. A year ago, they didn't throw the ball. They ran it at an iconic rate. This year, when the run game's not, what's Nick's answers? What's Nick's answer? Sporadic play? Look, folks, I'm not talking about the 4-0 trophy. I'm talking about the Lombardi trophy here. Okay? This is not the 4-0 trophy. Aren't you beyond that? Isn't your conversation evolved beyond the 4-0 trophy? I thought this was more about Lombardis. Dude, you're the Philadelphia Eagles. Act like it. You've got so much great talent. There's no team in pro football. There's no team in pro football that has more offensive skill set than you. None. 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 The players aren't going to let you down. The organization is. It's a mindset. They're holding the players back. And injuries. And injuries. Okay? And injuries. That's why this can be fixed. Now, Lane's a 15-year veteran. I don't know if that gets fixed. Jurgen's back does not, he looks worse every game. Landon has not been healthy since training camp. Okay. Seals, I know the game was ugly, but did you get any positives from the game? Your resiliency is iconic. The Eagles' resiliency is fucking such a... I wish to God you could get a bottle and bottle that up and sell it in 6-packs, because if you could bottle up that resiliency that Eagle team has, it's what makes champions. My God. You know, there's not a lot of it that goes around. So it's kind of like in a little shot glass. And it's very, very small. Very few people ever drink from that cup. You got that fucking shit in spades. It's so great. You get emotional thinking about the heart, the drive, the will, never surrendering. It's everything a pro athlete prays to get. That resiliency is off the charts. Uncommon. I fear if we don't win the championship this year, things will go south quickly. No, well, wait. We say 21-1 and act like we're a dynasty. Don't forget how quickly the Legion of Boom in Seattle ended. You're not a dynasty, dude. Multiple championships are won with dynasties, not regular season wins, unless you count the Atlanta Braves winning 14 straight AL East flags as a dynasty. That's a cheap man's dynasty. Xander, I missed some supers. Guys, please hit the like button. I appreciate all of you being here. By the way, Howie needs to buy out Frank's contract to get him in here. You're not getting him until the first week of December. November 29th is when Stanford's year's over. You're not. But Bill, thank you. I might have one more. If that's it, okay, all good. Guys, hit the like button. Dude, here's another positive. Your young guys are getting better. Campbell, Makuba, yeah, they're getting better. They are. Guys got turned around. They got beat a couple times. That's a good football team you played. The Bucs are good. And they're getting better. I'll tell you, Jordan Davis did not have a very good game. I think Carter was okay. I don't think your edge rushers killed you that badly. But they ran at 5.5 a clip. They had 375 yards of total offense on you. And the majority of it was in the second half, and they put 19 points on you. That's good? Sure, okay. And what world is that? You watch when Vic talks tomorrow. I agree. Carter's hurt. He is. Cooper's the best. Here's another positive. I'll tell you what, man. Cooper DeJean and Zach Bond are fucking tackling machines. They are exceptional in open space. I mean exceptional. Nothing gets by those guys. They have tremendous angles. Zach Bond is maybe the best open field tackling linebacker in pro football. I'm telling you, man. And DeJean, holy shit. Bro, if he's in front of you, you're not getting around that guy. I mean, those two dudes are so great. I'm watching the game and I'm like, holy shit, these dudes, man. They are not getting away from them guys. Exceptional. Exceptional open field tacklers. Not good, exceptional. Like next level and just great. Abe, it was a priority. Remember I told you in the pregame show, Bucky Irvin, I told those guys, Bucky Irvin is going to compensate for the loss of Mike Evans. He had 100 yards receiving. He was leaking out in the backfield. And he was getting out, and it was by design. You know, John was trying to tell me that wasn't design. I know what they were doing. I talked to Bruce Arians. They were going to leak those guys out of the backfield, White and Bucky Irvin. And they did. They leaked them out. It was by design. It's not, no. Over again, but with a defense. Maybe. Again, look at this. See this guy? Here. He had 100 yards receiving, douchebag. Our defense has to lead and tighten up stopping the run while we straighten out the shit show on offense. Still sounds disappointed because we know this team can be great. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, Sean. Yes. Totally true. Hey, Sean, before I read this to you, Sean, when I say you're playing D plus C minus football and you're 4-0, that's a compliment. We know Jalen not the best passer, but last time he had a competent OC, he finished second in the MVP voting. Well, then why didn't you do it again? Give him a competent OC. They need an OC like Lincoln Riley. Absolutely. Lincoln Riley? You mean Lincoln Riley who just lost to Illinois over the weekend? That Lincoln Riley? No, thank you. Lincoln Riley is the worst coach USC has hired in 50 years. Exactly what did he win? I think your boy was okay. I don't think he was really anything out there special. Missed some open field tackles. I don't know. Bucky Irvin, but he's a very shifty back. Not too shabby. I don't know. He can't tackle. Bucky wasn't the intended passer initially. He just He was the second fucking option in the play. He was the underneath. I'll leave it to somebody that knows how to read a defense. Okay, guy? They keep hiring from inside like they didn't learn from 23. This offense needs a top-tier OC. You know one thing I give Kellen Moore? Kellen Moore knew that he had to limit the quarterback's touching of the football. They don't trust Jalen Hurts. How about your cowgirls celebrating ties? My cowgirls? Hey, are you under the impression, David? I think you're goofing on me, but that's cool. I think you're under the impression because I played for them that I root for them. I don't. So if that 2024 or 22 Eagles saw this team, they'd hang 50. Oh, absolutely. That 24 and 22 team would hang 50 on this team. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You can't play scared in the NFL. Tanner took backups against the starting D and cut it loose. James, I appreciate that, but that's a whole different deal. Hey, Pump, I promise you, Pump, next game that guy gets in, it'll be back to reality. He was okay. I mean, he's nobody special, man. Like I told you, Reed wasn't anybody special. Reed Blankenship's nobody special. Keely Ringo's nobody special. Special is Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Bond. Those are special people. Carter. Those are special guys. AJ, Devontae. Those are special. Those other guys are dudes. It wasn't direct. Oh, I got you, David. You're right. Jerry Jones took that away last night, that 40-40 time. By the way, I know you don't want to hear it. That's playing sensational football. He was fucking electric. Hey, I got another topic for you. Let me ask you guys something. So let's get to AJ. We haven't gotten to AJ. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Give me a total on where we are in the likes. We got to start doing that again. Hey, after what you saw with AJ Brown and him posting, let me find this thing. Okay, let me find the post. Because I want to read something to you and I want to throw something at you. Michael Irvin sent me something today. Okay, and I want to ask you guys. First, I want to read this. And then what I want to do is I want to get your opinions on it. And most of you know, and I don't want to paraphrase what he posted. It was some sort of like cryptic Bible verse in what he posted, right? So what was the AJ Brown thing here? Let me see. AJ Brown. So let's go here with the AJ Brown post. Here it is. If you're not welcomed, okay, did I miss a super? Okay, no. So here. If you're not welcomed, I don't know what that's implying. I'm talking in the team meetings. This is what this sounds to me. If you're not welcome in the team meetings and you're in those team meetings not listened to, quietly don't say anything. Don't make a scene when you're in the team meetings. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way after the meeting's over. He's giving input inside team meetings, and they're not listening because the game plans that come out are the things that you're seeing on TV. So let me ask you this. What's your takeaway on him posting that? Why team meetings, not overall offense? I'm talking about the offensive meetings, not team meetings. Thanks, Xander. You're right. Game plans. When you're in your offensive team meetings and you're putting a game plan together offensively, and Nick's in the room, this is how meetings go. What they'll do is they'll get the OC, they'll get the head football coach, the quarterback coach, the quarterback, and the star offensive personnel. Offensive lineman's not gonna be in there. Like on a defensive meeting, they'll put the Mike linebacker, the guy with the green dot. They'll put some of the team leaders, somebody from the defensive line, and somebody from every level. You'll go into the organizing of putting a game plan together defensively and how you want to attack. Vic might do it differently because Vic's got a lot of equity in how he wants the players to follow what he's saying. He's going to put you in a position to win. So it may be limited. That's why you have individual meetings. D-line meetings will meet with Clint. Then Clint will go in and meet for the game plan. He'll meet with Vic. This is what we think. That's why you have position coaches. You'll meet position-wise, and then you'll bring your stars in. Offensively, they'll sit in a game plan. The quarterback will be sitting there, and they'll go around the room. Jalen, what plays do you think will be essential in winning a football game with this week? What plays will you go? I've been in these meetings. They'll go like this. Well, we want to run this. We want to run these running plays, 5 or 6 of them. We want to run 5 or 6 of these passing plays. We want to run some of these called run plays. And this is what we're going to try to run. You don't run every play in the playbook. You pare it down to about 100 plays. And then when you get to the game, it depends on the in-game situation. The coordinator has to have a feel for it. Hey, get this. You know what John said yesterday? The plays are written out already. So you mean you put a game plan together on a Saturday and no scripted plays? You don't deviate off them? There lies your problem. I mean, if you're putting a game plan together on fucking Saturday and you've got 25 to 100 plays scripted out on Saturday, John McMullen said this. They already know what they're going to run, he said. You know, I sat there and I went, they already know what they're running on Saturday? Well, how do you know what the game's going to determine if Todd starts doing other things defensively to you? And he doesn't bring as many blitzes, or they line up in a different formation on the defensive line. You're going to stick to your game plan? Well, that's part of the problem why you wobble like that. So with your evaluation, Keely Ringo was worse than Adoree? No, I don't think any of them are very good. I don't think any of them are good. Okay, so the lesser of the evils? Sure, put Ringo in. No problem. Thanks, Pump. Yeah. Of the 3 bums? Yeah, put Ringo in. Sure. Okay. He's the best of the 3 bums? Put the less bum in. Yeah, okay. AJ, in my opinion, is in those meetings. He's kind of offers something up in the passing game. No way. No way. He's telling you they're not listening to anybody in the passing game. And Hurts is going along with it. You know why Hurts is going along with it? 20-1. 20-1. It goes back to that. And by the way, you know, Jalen's banking on them fixing the run game. Dude, you've beaten some great teams because of exceptional talent. Exceptional talent. Stout gets a pass. O-line's atrocious. Pryor's awful. Yeah, your depth is terrible this year. It's terrible. Pryor and the other guy they bring in, they're fucking terrible. They get destroyed when they get put in. Steen got injured too in the game. Dude, every time that guy Pryor, Fred, I don't know what the problem is with Fred. I think Fred's a very good backup. I think he's got a great role. Dude, that run game, It's in your interior. You're not playing well. Center guards are not moving the ball. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Fred. I don't know what their problem is going to Matt Pryor. I really don't. I mean, the guy fucking blows. Good question. Because of your guts and the way you play and the way you're quarterback, no matter how shitty the approach is, it's Philly. Hey, by the way, when you guys are trying to sell me Green Bay, do you want that putt back? Remember, after the 2-0 start, everyone's like, Green Bay's it. I'm like this. I'm not sold on them. You're sold. They lost to the Browns and tied the Cowboys. Are you still sold on Green Bay? Really? You're sold on them? I'm not. Never was. I mean, hey, Green Bay's going to be a problem. I'm like, no, I don't see it yet. Dude, Dak destroyed that team with George Pickens and like nobody. Hey, the Cowboy tight end's coming into his own. He is. He looks like a football player. Matt Pryor gets more opportunities on the Eagles and can't do anything but get beat like a drum. Yeah. I have yet to see one redeeming quality about that guy. So let me go in here with AJ. Okay. So AJ Brown posted that, okay? Do you think that if AJ had a choice between Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts, who do you think he would take? No take on my previous chat? My super chat? The Latin Inferno says that he had a prior super chat. We'll get to that here in a second here. Who do you think AJ Brown would take? Jalen or Dak? Look at Eagle fans. Xander, Latin Inferno said that he had a prior super. If we can maybe find it, maybe not. I agree. I guess Michael Irvin was on a show earlier. Mike texted me that. Michael texted me that and said, who do you think? I said, he'd take Dak in a second. He would take Dak in a second. He wouldn't take Jalen Hurts. What? For one target? Not being listened to in the pass game? Parsons, non-factor against average O-line. Green Bay has no defense. It was a circus between Dallas and Green Bay. Dak is playing phenomenal football. Hey, Xander Pump just sent one here. I want to read it for him. I know he's a big Keely Ringo guy, so I want to make sure I get that up there too if we can. We'll go to Kyle first here. Let me get to Kyle. AJ's far less of a diva than most wide receivers, right? That being said, forcing the ball to him the way Jalen did will not do good. Absolutely. So, Pump, Sills, would AJ and Devontae be disgruntled if Tanner was the quarterback? I believe we would have a prolific passing attack, kind of like the greatest show on turf. Dude, the Eagles aren't into developing quarterbacks. They're not into developing QBs. Everything Tom Brady said about offensive coordinators, the Eagles do everything wrong. What are they teaching them? Jalen Hurts is still the same pathetic guy when it comes to taking on blitzes. He still struggles across the middle of the field. They limit the offense. He's still learning pass protection. What are they teaching him, actually? Denny. So, by the way, Angelo Cataldi will be with us at 3:30. I don't know yet if Gary Cobb is going to be with us at 4:30. So let me see if we can double check here if G Cobb's coming aboard with us here. I want to double check here. Let me send this out to him and make sure G Cobb 4:30. Let's see here. So Angelo and Xander will be with us. Hurts was great against the blitz in the first half. Stop segmenting football games. It's 60 minutes. Games have ebb and flows, man. So I believe it's going to develop into a problem if it stays this way. We can't keep everyone happy. But when you get the best wide receiver in the league and paying for it and can't without him, come on, Abe, yes. Any updates on Carter's shoulder? That they're probably not going to tell you. One more time. I want to make sure you guys understand one thing. You guys have exceptional talent. It's exceptional. 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 You don't have exceptional coaching on offense. Remember, you know what's funny? I asked you last year and I asked you this year, what did Kellen Moore bring to Jalen? Nothing. What has Kevin Patullo done for Jalen and evolved Jalen on? What? Nothing. The only guy that has used Jalen right has been Shane Steichen. Dude, the off-script stuff is the only way you're getting there. Seals, it's exceptional. How about this, Denny? Do you agree with me, Denny? The Philadelphia Eagles have the best talent in the Super Bowl era. Okay? Herbert, 200 yards, 2 INTs, and an L to Dart. Great passer. No, you're right. Your guy is the worst passer in the league for a contending team. The worst. You just get on here and make shit. I make shit up. Well, you're not watching the game then, dude. And by the way, go fan wave. It's okay. I applaud you. Just so you know, digitally, we blow everyone in Philly out of the water. So this is where everyone comes for the truth. I mean, Sills, AJ wants to be a part of the offense, not running cardio also. Sills, tell Irvin to get RC off his first take segments. He hates Ryan Clark. I'm not going to say any more. Let me tell you what I think about his post. I got to remember that this is the modern wave of today and how players communicate. They do it through social media. So I got to remember, get off my lawn stuff that, hey, old man Dan, that's not how people do that shit today. They talk through social media. And AJ knows he's going to get 4 or 5 million people looking at that and they're going to dissect it. Dude, AJ Brown is strategically smart as anybody in the league. If you think that guy's just doing things emotionally, you're wrong. He's a very smart, intellectual guy. You could see what he does and how he builds a brand. I saw him do that commencement speech. I can't remember what college it was. He's a thought out businessman who understands social media and branding. He knows what he's doing at all times. I used to think Jay Paterno and Brad Childress were bad. They are geniuses compared to this shit. OCs I have watched. And hey, absolutely real. I was at the game yesterday. AJ and Jalen were barking back at each other on the bench during the fourth quarter. At one point, you could see Hurts say, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Hey, Nello, thank you very much for the super. Look at that right there. A.J. Brown doesn't want to be on this football offense any longer. He doesn't want to be involved in it. It's not that he doesn't like his teammates. It's not that he's a bad player. He just looks at it, and because of the limitations the quarterback has, hey, you know what John and Jeff Kerr did today to me? Xander, do you know what those guys did to me? It made me think that they know something that AJ told them. You know what it is? Here, I'll give you my opinion on what those guys, I heard him say it. I can't tell you because it was in private. AJ tells him that Jalen Hurts is limited as a passer. We just don't have the guy that has the skill set to get the ball to us like that on a consistent basis in the passing offense. That's what I took of that. That AJ privately tells these reporters, Hurts ain't the guy. Hey, anybody in Philadelphia know a real quarterback? All the little subtle things over the years that he said about Hurts' abilities. Get this. How about this? You see this right here? Lying? Really? Why would I lie to you? Hey, Spit. Seriously, man. I don't know you from a can of paint. Why do I care to lie to you? Sills, is Jalen being a coward, not respecting his teammates and using winning as an excuse? Dude, winning as an excuse covers a lot of scabs. And I'm going to shut my mouth too. If I'm on a football team that's winning, I'm going to keep my face shut too. Is this sounding like McNabb and T.O. beef? No, because McNabb wanted to get the ball to the guy. McNabb just had a problem with the ego of T.O. and who was getting the credit for the wins. That was more about who got credit. Hurts is not, I don't believe Jalen Hurts is looking for any kind of credit at all. Now, do I think that A.J. Brown thinks that Jalen Hurts is overrated? Yeah. I guarantee you, when A.J. Brown leaves here, those comments will be said that A.J. Brown will say that Hurts was overrated. You want to bet? I'll bet anything on it. Do I think that? No. Not for what they're asking him to do and how they've limited him to. Okay? And what happened? Right. I'll take a first for AJ and don't use him anyways. They don't use him anyways. Dude, at first for AJ, I think you need to dig deeper into your wallet. If we're going out to lunch and you're only going to pay for the entree, you're not going to lunch with me. I want the entree. I want the dinner paid for, and I want the dessert paid for. But AJ being this skilled and should be able to better separation. Dude, AJ Brown is checking out. He's checking out. That tweet means to me he's checking out. Angelo Cataldi's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. He's checking out. That's who they made OC. You made your bed, you got to sleep in it. You guys told me that OC was going to be an easy transition. Kevin Patullo was going to be an easy transition. I said, no way. Play calling isn't that easy. That's why there's so few great ones at it. Big Sills. So we wasted picks and trades for Aziz, and that dude is healthy scratch every week. Bro, you're what? Howie. Now, let me put this right. Vic Fangio's making chicken soup out of chicken shit at many places. The organization took a blowtorch to 5 starters from the Super Bowl. 5. And he's making it happen. They're 18th right now in total defense. 18th, depending on what happens tonight. They could be 18th or 21st. And total defense from number 1. They're getting better? Okay. Show me where. You're giving up more runs per yard so far, and you're giving up more yards per game. And you're giving up more total yards per game. Where the fuck are you getting better? You're giving up 5.5 yards a carry. You're giving up 365 yards in total offense. Last year, you gave up 272. You're giving up a full 100 yards more already in 12 quarters. The fuck are you talking about? I don't see that. I mean, and on offense, like I said, let me get this right here. Here's what you rush for on offense in this ball game. You had 88 yards rushing on offense in this game. Hurts is 62. You ran the ball for 26 yards against the Bucs. I mean, I don't know. Seals, what was the defense ranked in the first 4 games last year? Dude, the defense did get better as the weeks went on. But remember what started happening. You started having a dominant run game. You were running the ball 38 carries. You were getting 165, 75 yards a game. And the defense was being able to really develop. And it helped in field position. I mean, hey, do I think the defense is going to improve? I think so. Yeah. They're going to continue to get better. But you know how they won't get better? If that offense keeps sputtering like that, no chance. It'll start imploding because field position, like it did in 23. If you keep getting 3 and outs the way that offense is going and playing a sporadic, you're going to hurt the defense's development. And you're going to beat Chip Kelly again. I bet you A.J. Brown will have a big day on Sunday. Just in time. Game 5. Let's see here. 23 won't happen again. I happen to agree with that. I think you got the right coach on the defensive side of the football. Agreed. Is it me or did you have a guest that said a long time ago that the wide receivers at Alabama were pushing to have Tua so that they can get the ball? Yeah. That was one of the reasons they wanted a more wide open offense, and they wanted to have a guy that would be able to use all of those players that Alabama had. Jalen Hurts cannot spread the field. He's limited. But, hey, 20-1 shuts that down. Defending Super Bowl champion. Hey, you know what's crazy? Let me ask you guys something. So do you guys think that I'm bitching at a 4-0 team too much? Sills, could you imagine playing on that defense yesterday? 5 straight 3-and-outs in Tampa. I dive. Right. Okay. He says yes. A little bit. Okay. Not at all. Where's Xander here? No, 4-0 doesn't mean anything. Just like 2-2. That's correct. Okay. So let's see. So wait a minute. Well, then how come AJ's complaining? So the best wide receiver in pro football is complaining. And I'm listening to him. But M. Reyes says that I'm being too critical of a 4-0 team. Isn't AJ? Hasn't Jalen? What's your answer to that? So you're mad at AJ Brown too, right, M. Reyes? Is that right, M. Reyes? You're telling AJ Brown that he's being too critical too, right? Yes or no? So me and him are being critical because we're looking at a bigger picture. But you're saying I'm too critical. So look at this. AJ doesn't realize it's Liars Month. So a guy from the cheap seats thinks he knows more than the best player in the league at his position. That's a first. Guy sitting with a fucking beer in his hand is trying to tell you he knows more than an NFL player and how he feels. Fucking absurd. I mean, absurd. How about this? I'm with Xander on this one. I'm with Team AJ. I don't think AJ wants 1,500 yards. I just think the motherfucker wants to be involved. I don't think he wants 150 yards. I think he wants to be involved. Is that too much? I think he wants 85, 90 yards. I don't think the guy's looking for 200 yards football games. He just wants to be involved. Look at this guy. And they were 9 obnoxious targets. Nine obnoxious targets. They were stupid. You know what it looked like? Let's get AJ the ball before he bitches on the sidelines. Kind of targets. Instead of going, let's get that dude open, because him against that secondary, it's literally, they were 26th in pass defense coming in. Yeah, let me do this. So let me get a thoroughbred like American Pharaoh. And I got American Pharaoh, the Triple Crown winner. But hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep him in the barn. And I'm not going to race him for the stakes races. What the hell? I'm just going to keep him there. Jalen can spread the ball, can spread the field. He did it. Dude, you lose me at Oklahoma. Thank you for the super, though. Thank you. But aren't they better ways to communicate? Yes. 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 Stack? Yes. Hey, Stack, you ever get frustrated and you blurt something out or you do something dumb? I've done that a lot in my career, and it's cost me a job. I've tweeted something, I've said something, and I've absolutely cost myself gigs. So I get it. Okay? And you're right. Isn't there a better way? But here I would ask you this. The way he posted that comes off like he has said something, and they don't want to say anything. Okay? Stop calling him the best wide receiver. Chase exists. Who? Oh, yeah. The guy with the meaningless yards in Cincinnati? That guy? Okay. That's who your guy is? I'll take the guy who knocks people out in a run game. You go chase that guy around. That guy's a flea. That guy is a cheetah. I'll take the cheetah. You take the flea. Jalen wants to be the hero. No. I don't think that guy works like that. I do not believe that Jalen Hurts believes he's some sort of superhero and he's fucking this or that. I don't believe that. Now, the way he carries himself, I don't know. Sometimes he's just a weird dude. But I'll tell you, I got a feeling, man. And what John McMullen and Jeff Kerr did today on Birds 365, my opinion is he thinks the quarterback's overrated and he can't get the ball to him. And that's why they have a game plan set up the way they do. I heard John say this. Now you leave it open to open-end comments like this one right here. AJ wants that. He wants all this out. He wants to tell you the reason I'm not getting the football because the quarterback's is overrated when it comes to passing. That's how I read it. Until otherwise noticed, that's what I believe. Hey, by the way, he's giving you more innuendos than anything on this. Killy had a six. Hey, keep pimping him there, hey, Pump. I'm sure great. Blankenship's terrible. Told you that. You want to give him a $15 million a year contract. Hurts was terrible too. I think Jalen had a concussion in the second. Never going to dismiss that because, I don't know, man's health, never question it. Emmanuel Acho made a good point. Passes to AJ were all here damn passes. AJ tossed the ball after he caught it. Like, what the hell are you throwing that to me for? AJ wants to lose to force change. No. I'm not going that far. This guy wants to take an L, so all of a sudden everything changes. I don't believe that. Bro, you shouldn't have to have a loss for a superstar player to make a change. You shouldn't have to do that. I'm not buying that. That's why I said he'd rather have Dak Prescott as his quarterback. He'd rather have Dak. He'd rather have anybody else but the guy in the building because he thinks he's limited. Okay? Oh, yeah. Let me see. Yeah. As much as I like Jalen, I can't be the only one that believes we can achieve this level of winning with a more talented quarterback. A more talented quarterback couldn't come in here with the restrictions that they put on the coordinator and the restrictions that the coach and the organization puts on a quarterback. They couldn't come in here and win. No way. Hey, are you under the impression Joe Burrow would throw 50 passes in this team? You're wrong. Joe Burrow would throw 20 passes. Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. Wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Offensive grade rank. 3 quarters through 4 quarters. A+. There's 60 minutes in a football game, Mad D. Well, let me set this up for Angelo here. I'll tell you what, you jumped this man's shit last year for 5 wins. I'll tell you what, you're not going to jump his ass for is the coordinator. And I'm going to make a point to you here. Now you got A.J. Brown bitching at everybody. I don't think the quarterback, and I said it again, I don't think this is the QB. I think this is the organization and the greatness of Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo putting the straitjacket or putting the guardrails around these guys. And Kevin Patullo was never going to elevate Jalen. Do you understand something in an NFL football game? Schools like Lehigh and like Villanova don't complete passes in the second half. Like Temple, no disrespect, Angie, but Temple doesn't complete passes in the second half. The 1926 Penn team doesn't complete passes in the second. They were 0 for 8. And if you put the punt for the safety, they had -3 yards of total offense in the second. You're not winning a Super Bowl. There's no chance in hell. This is the worst show on turf. You know the greatest show on turf? This is the worst show on turf. This is so not sustainable. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it was a train wreck. 4-0. I mean, if you take the only reason you're winning right now is because of Jalen Hurts. They had 26 yards rushing. If you take his 60 yards out, 26. It's a high school offense. 4 passes here, 4 passes there. A.J. Brown hates these people. And you know what you have the Philly media doing? Well, you know, what do you think A.J. means? What do you think he means? The offense blows. I hate it. Let's go.